Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you had an amazing holiday. I have built an airport on request by Margaret and Dolan, Al Hahara, Arabia. I also had a request from two others, XX Olamidex Gacha and Sims FreePlay Designs. So all four requests, I think. I don't think there's any more. But I've done something here and made sure that it fit on a big plot. I needed the biggest plot possible. This would be the Grand Garage's live event plot. And it has everything. Everything that you should have in an airport. I think I was able to squeeze in a car park, a control tower for air controllers, and an actual building where you've got departures, arrivals, and a runway at the back, which is pretty important. So it's going to be interesting when you see what it looks like on the inside. It'll surprise you. There's lots of space, and everything that should be functioning in an airport is in here, including the baggage department that you can see from the rear. I have two airplanes on this plot. With the help of floating rooms, I was able to build this, and I think it's amazing. I have Sims on board, and they're waiting for clearance from the control tower to land on that runway that you see there. And you will notice that the runway has rugs underneath the section where you have the aircraft, because if you use actual patio paving, the roof will fly off of the floating room. So rugs came into play. Rugs have become runways, I tell you. Necessity is a mother of invention. The aircraft down below obviously is attached to a mobile bridge and is waiting for clearance for this plane to land so it can come out and get onto this runway and take off. Okay, we have a multi-story car park. That's the way out or to that car park. And yeah, that's everything about the exterior. And we'll get to tour the inside of the aircrafts when we finish the tour of the actual airport building. Now, this frozen over water fountain I was able to find from an architect tab home. So that's brilliant. I've always wanted it, and I found it because I'm just not able to complete those long events. This is the way in, of course, those big broad glass doors, and then you come straight into where you need to line up and present your tickets and have your bags weighed in and put through the baggage system. See, there's a truck out there waiting for collection. Okay, this center part here is where items will be stored that you had to leave because you couldn't pay for your excess baggage, or you pay extra cash to the lady at the reception here. So yeah, I have a few Sims waiting, lining up, a bit exhausted, can't wait to board. And yeah, you pay a little bit more if you don't want items taken away from you. So this is an air flight that is boarding right now, and you can see that the baggage system is a realistic one. So you can see it goes all the way around the back here and out in this section through the conveyor belt, and then it's loaded up with carts and so on. And the top part is for arrivals. So the bottom one is for departures, the top one's for arrivals. We'll see that section when we get upstairs. And this truck, continues to go back and forth and load up the belly of the plane that's waiting in the terminal here. So lots of movement back and forth between the parked plane and the baggage department at the rear here. So let's quickly get back in and not lose track. Okay, so that's what happens in the front. You've seen what happens a bit towards the back. And this is what it looks like facing the entrance. I think that's quite nice, clean, clear. I like the way it looks. It's spacious in a way. Lots of seats to sit down and wait for a loved one, perhaps. And there is a fridge, which I call a vending machine, and then you've got a cafe area. Okay. Now, if you use a mix and match of furniture in the space, and you have the cart from the Cafe Grande live event. This is the oak one. I had it glitched in because it's got signage on it. You've got the food cabinet as well, and you've got the bread basket. You've got this lovely, very nice black terrazzo oven with a set of kitchen cabinets that are new in the in-game store right now for cash. And so yeah, this is the cafe section where you come and get a cup of coffee or a quick snack while you wait for your delayed flight. Lots of areas to sit down, chat, get refreshed, connect to the airport Wi-Fi that never works, and more signage up on the wall about the coffee of the day. Again, you need these TVs in place, letting you know when your flight's boarding, so you're not late. And there's more of those in the reception as well, as you can see here. So it's not a reception, it's a reception hall, isn't it? So we're going to go up the escalators. I love these ones. And then, you know, you come up to your shops. You need shops. So you've got the cafe downstairs, you come up here, you've got the shops where you can buy more fancy things. And I'm just so glad a Sim's coming up, so you can see that they can work their way around if they want to. It's a very functional space. There's shoes for sale, lots of presents to buy for your destination, and, you know, more bags to buy in case you need more carry-ons. This goes up to the restrooms, and then you work your way through to more areas to sit and wait, a TV up on the wall or a display screen telling you about the different flight times. And then you come through to the actual departure section. Now, one is for departures, one is for the arrivals. So let me just get the sim here to go right through. So you would have dropped everything you have and gone through this x-ray machine here, and when you arrive into this airport, you come through this checkpoint instead. That's what I've done, so it fits on one plot. Airports are quite extensive. These would be the sections where you'd have staff sit down and see what's going on in your bags. You know, the x-ray machines would reveal what's going on in those bags. So you come through to the section here. After that, you've placed your items in plastic boxes and things like that. You know, everything has to come off. You put it on the conveyor belt here, and it slides through, and, you know, all is revealed. And if you're clean and drug-free, then you come through to the section where you can board your flight. So that's how I've connected it, okay? So this would be for arrivals, and no one's arriving yet today. It's departures. It's a local airport, and it's nicely decked out with a bit of space because of the number of people that will be coming in and going out. And then you have the departures here. I used the amenities shelf from the Holiday Harry's events to create separation in the space from arrivals and departures, just to set them apart somehow. So I'm going to get my little sim here to go through into the aircraft. This one is still waiting to load sims, while the other one in the air is waiting for clearance to land. So you come through to the air hostess section here. This is a little kitchen, the smallest kitchen you've ever seen, and then through to the cabin area here. You say hello to the captain. That's where the air hostesses would sit, and this is where the restroom is. And that unit is part of an online pack. It's very beautiful, very sleek. I thought it worked brilliantly in the space. I just unlocked those and then made it up in the space because I originally had something else. Okay, and then of course you come through this curtained area into the main cabin where passengers sit and are taken care of. And yeah, my Sims can actually sit on those and, you know, be comfortable. Then you got the trolley, the all-important trolley that, you know, is wheeled through by the air hostess, filled with refreshments for passengers. And then you've got the smoke machine here that, you know, mimics the idea of smoke coming out the plane. It's warming up and getting ready to take off. Then you've got the cockpit for the pilot, or flight deck if you want. And yeah, I could have placed two of those in there, but I just set down the one. Yeah, you do need two pilots, so I suppose I could have just put another chair in. But this is the complete flight that's waiting to be boarded. And as said before, you'll realize that I used rugs for the runway parts here. Completely different, isn't it, from the actual runway that's made with patio paving, so I don't lose the roofs of my planes because they're floating rooms. So we're coming back in, and you would have come from this bridge instead for arrivals, right? So perhaps we would come through the checkpoint on the left for arrivals, and then you would come through to the section here where you're waiting for your baggage to claim your pieces of luggage, and that's still attached to the section downstairs. So you've got arrival baggages up top, and that same truck would work that shift getting bags out the plane, and it goes up into the arrival section. Hopefully they don't get mixed up. So yeah, that's where you would sit waiting if it just took forever for you to spot your bag, okay? So this escalator goes up to the restrooms and some offices and the way out to the car park. And you go through that long corridor, and that corridor has a couple of doors to the left and right. One leads into the male bathroom. It's marked with green tiles and has all the necessary facilities to dry your hands and wash your hands. And then you've got the stall doors, and behind them you've got the toilet units tucked away. And the floor plan is exactly the same for the female bathrooms on the side here with the red tiles this time. And yeah, it's got everything that's needed, and you get a better view of the toilet units inside here. So just a couple each. That's the restrooms. Over on the side here, on the other side of the escalators coming up from the shops and baggage claim, is where you have some staff offices, and most of the items that have been seized will be stored in here, or forgotten items in the airport. You know, they usually say don't touch it, just report it. So they come and get it, and it's kept here, okay? Now, right through that corridor towards the end leads through these double doors, and that's how you connect to the multi-story car park up top. And so yes, a sim can actually come up here and drive a car away, or arrive by just appearing, boop, and then going through the double doors down into the main airport, because again, we don't really see cars drive away in Sims FreePlay. They just disappear. So a very, very quick overview of this airport before we go and have a look at the control tower and the aircraft full of Sims. And yeah, this is the floor plan for it. It's very simple, but it's all about knowing where to place things and have it make sense. So there are a couple of double doors that lead into that section. And let me use the Sim that's staring at it. She seems very curious. So you come all the way up through those sci-fi elevators. And this is the control center. I have actually been in a control center before. You get to see the planes land and take off, and you know, get instructions from the controllers. Let me get that Sim to come up and control. She's too small for that. But yeah, I have family that work in the control tower. I won't tell you which one. But yeah, I have actually been up in a control tower before and seen planes land and take off. It's very, very cool to see them control all these planes coming in and out of any particular country where the tower is operating from. It's wonderful. But yeah, these bay windows have served greatly in the game. And here we have a real tower that works, and you know, this is a complete airport, I say. I'm very pleased with the way it looks, and at nighttime you get to see all those beautiful lights. And if you've ever been on a flight deck, you would be able to see how the runway is lit up in the distance. It's amazing, isn't it? So now we're going to tour this flight. It's flight 230, Creative Airways, landing with a ton of Sims who are coming back from holiday, and they're just waiting for clearance to touch down. But before we, touch down, let's, pop in and see how they're doing. They'd be exhausted, wouldn't they? My last flight had a huge delay of about 5 hours. We had to keep circling and had to return to a different airport. It was ridiculous. Anyway, this is what it looks like in this aircraft. It's a little bit bigger, from the other one we saw that's waiting to fly. That's the trolley that goes right through the middle. Oh, there he is stretching. He's been sat for so long. What's keeping us in the air? Why can't we land? And yeah, I love these seats and I love this aircraft. It's clean and, it's just quite nice. Okay, he swapped seats, but these chairs have the nice little cushions in them like you're meant to have. And there's another trolley up front there, and yeah, it's nice that it's well lit where the air hostesses would sit down, and that's the restroom, similar again. And yeah, you can see the signage of the aircraft Creative Airways blocking our view right there. But yeah, that's where the restroom is, so it's similar. You've got the flight deck up front here, the pilot's area, and I just wanted to place a computer there so someone's in there actually doing something, as opposed to just plunking down the DJ booth and a seat that no one can access or do anything with. So now you know why I left the other one with just the one seat, because no pilots in there quite yet. But here we have one, and the all important bay windows make it look like something like a jet. Okay. I absolutely love it. We would have had a roofless plane if I'd used actual patio paving down below. So again, that's why I have rugs instead of the actual paving in that section. Thank you so much for watching this first video of the year, and welcome back again to Joy's Creative Finger. We have a safe liftoff for the year 2020, and I'm wishing you and myself the very best. Okay, thanks again, and feel free to join our Facebook group. It's called Joy's Creative Finger. Floor plans, life builds are going up there now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.